What is going on, y'all? It is the Caveman back at it again with another video. It's been 6 weeks since the last time I made a power rankings video, and if you did not see that video, I said that I was going to do a new power rankings video each and every 6 weeks. So to start the season, I did one beforehand, then after week 6, I did another one, and now after week 12, I'm doing another power rankings video, and then after week 18, which will be the end of the season, I will do my final power rankings video heading into the playoffs. There has been a lot that has changed with my list since I last talked about the power rankings, and it's kind of cool to see the change from week 6 all the way to week 12, all the shifting that I had. It's pretty cool. But before we get into all of that, you guys know the drill around here. Mott's applesauce if you're ever hungry, thirsty, whatever it might be. Mott's applesauce will satisfy whatever satisfy you need to satisfy. The Caveman guarantee. I promise it will never fail you. Let's talk about the power rankings, people. All right, so it's a power rankings list. I mean, it's not that difficult. I think everybody understands how these things work. It's just a ranking from every team, starting with the best team all the way down to the worst team out of all 32 teams in the NFL. I also am going to include the plus minus based on how many spots I moved up or down from my last list. So I broke my list down into thirds. We have 32 through 21 to begin with, and then 20 through 11, and then 10 all the way down to 1. We're going to start with 32 down to 21. These are pretty much all the garbage teams. There's really not much to be shocked by here. The two biggest drops that you see on screen here are from the Panthers and the Saints, who both fell 10 places. The Saints have just been injury riddled all season. They lost Jameis Winston to an ACL injury. Alvin Kamara has been missing time. Mark Ingram, their backup, who they just traded for, has been missing time as well. He hasn't been healthy. Ryan Ramczyk hasn't been healthy. I mean, the list just goes on. Michael Thomas never returned when he was supposed to. They just have gotten screwed with injuries left and right. For the Panthers, well, I thought they had a bright future coming sooner than I assumed. After that 3-0 start, they looked like they actually could be a decent team this year. But then things just started to snowball. Sam Darnold started to suck after Christian McCaffrey got hurt the first time, and then he ended up getting hurt. And then after Christian McCaffrey came back, they brought in Cam Newton. We all thought the feel-good story was going to bring the Panthers back to life, and it kind of did for a couple weeks. But then Cam Newton went out there and laid an absolute egg against the Miami Dolphins this past week in week 12. Yeah, I mean, the Carolina Panthers, they're a young team with a great core, but they still have a long ways to go. And the Seahawks, I'm still shocked to see down here. I expected them to move up into the second tier, maybe even the first tier after they started to catch some heat. But, obviously Russell Wilson got hurt. Geno Smith did okay in the time that he started, but then Russell Wilson has come back now, and he can't hit the broadside of a barn. He targeted DK Metcalf like a total of 2 times on Monday Night Football against the Washington football team, and they lost. They got, in my opinion, upset by a team that I think is significantly worse than them. The Seattle Seahawks, they're a dumpster fire right now, and Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, that connection is probably going to get separated after the season. Otherwise, no other really big surprises here. Let's go into 20 to 11. Looking at the second tier, the biggest thing that pops out between 20 through 11 is the Miami Dolphins, who have moved up 12 places. After week 6, I had them at 32nd in the NFL. They were 1-7 at one point. They were. And now they're 5-7. They've started to play some competent football. I'm still a humongous Miami Dolphins Tua Tagovailoa hater because I'm a Bills fan. But you have to acknowledge the fact that they've played respectable football, and they actually are starting to make a wild card push. Like, this is shocking. So I think that plus 12 for the Dolphins is definitely warranted. And you know what else is warranted? That minus 11 next to the Los Angeles Rams name. I mean, holy shit. They dropped the last 3 or 4 games, and on paper, their roster has gotten better since I last made the power rankings video after week 6. They were second in the NFL, in my personal opinion, at that point. They only improved on paper, and somehow they have dropped the last 3 or 4 games, dropping them 11 places. I don't know why they can't put that talent onto the field and have it execute. I don't know what the hell the problem is. There is zero excuse for what's going on with them right now. Zero excuse. They have all the help in the world that they can ever imagine. And for some reason, Matthew Stafford has thrown 3 pick sixes in the last 3 games. He's got this abysmal record against teams that are above 500. I don't know what the actual problem is with them, but they got to figure their shit out because they're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders. And right now, they look like they're about to freaking miss the playoffs at the rate they're going. There are 3 other teams here I want to quickly mention. The Cleveland Browns, I thought were going to be a lot better than they currently are. I mean, they lost Nick Chubb for some time. They also lost Kareem Hunt for some time. I mean, Baker Mayfield has like 9 different injuries. He might as well be playing quarterback on a gurney with a hospital gown on. That dude, he's struggling this year. The Chargers, they're the most inconsistent team in the entire NFL. I can't tell you what the hell they're going to do on a week-to-week basis. They go out and barely beat the Eagles, and then the following week, they destroyed the Pittsburgh Steelers for 3 quarters, and then let them slip back into the game and have to win a close one in overtime, and then go out and lose by multiple possessions to the Denver Broncos, which I understand is a divisional game, But what the hell are they doing? I can't tell you what in God's name is up over in Los Angeles. And you might be shocked to see the Cowboys this low, but, you know, when you go out and lose a game like you did to the Raiders, where in my opinion, I thought they should have had that game by at least a touchdown, because they are much more talented at the end of the day. They didn't. They lost in overtime. That sucked. They also got destroyed by the Denver Broncos a couple weeks ago. I don't know what is up with teams that are extremely talented losing to the Denver Broncos. It seems to happen a lot more often than it should. Cowboys, I mean, their defense, it's just extremely skeptical. Their secondary was supposed to be decent, but Trayvon Diggs has turned out to be the most overrated cornerback in the NFL. Not to mention they're dealing with a lot of injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Amari Cooper's been out with COVID. CeeDee Lamb had a concussion. Zeke isn't fully healthy. They just got a lot of issues right now. So that leads me into my top 10. There's a lot here. I had a hard time putting this together. I can't lie. And I still might even change it. You know, if you ask me again, I might give you a slightly different order, but this is the order I have currently. I think the Packers should be number 1. I mean, after all, they did beat the Cardinals head up, so I think that's enough to put them at number 1. I think Cardinals are the unanimous number 2. Bucks haven't moved. I really haven't been sold on the fact that they've been playing their best football, but we all know with Tom Brady that his best football will come later on in the season. So, you know, I mean, no movement here isn't too shocking. Patriots. They're the team that everybody is shocked by at the moment. I think they sat at 3-4 at one point. Now they're 7-4. 8-4, right? I mean, they're making a little bit of a surprising AFC number 1 seed push that nobody would have seen coming. They have a humongous game against my Buffalo Bills coming up on Monday Night Football. That will be for the AFC East. That's going to be the biggest game of the year for both of these teams. But the Patriots are the hottest team in the NFL. I think they deserve this jump, absolutely. Plus 14, even coming from a Bills fan, I think they've earned it. The Ravens are higher than I'd like them to be, but because of their record, I just feel like I have no choice. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, Lamar goes and throws 4 picks, yet they still win the game. But that doesn't sell me if I'm a Ravens fan to think my team is actually good, even though my record says we are. I don't know. The Ravens, I also can't understand how to take them. The Chiefs are on a tear right now. They're starting to really turn up and play some better football. I expect them to move up by the end of the season. Then there's the Colts. Between the Colts and the Patriots, those two teams see our biggest jumps. The Colts, I mean, they also are the second hottest team in the NFL. Despite losing a very close game to the Buccaneers, I think they absolutely deserve to be in the top 10, above the Buffalo Bills, who they absolutely decimated. The Colts are 6-6, and they probably have what I think is the worst record in the entire top 10. But they have gone through hell this season. They've had the gauntlet starting with a new quarterback under center, and I think they've done a darn good job at trying to hang in there. And I think they are a playoff team. Whether or not they make it is another story. I think they're going to, but they have some tough games ahead. The Buffalo Bills, well, of course they're going to be falling places. -3 when you lose to the Jaguars, and then you go out and lose to the Indianapolis Colts the way you did. There's no way you're moving up on the list. There's no way you're not falling on this list. You deserve the -3. Hopefully you'll be able to turn up later on in the year. Like I said, this game against the Patriots is going to be a big indicator for how the rest of the year is going to go. That Trey White injury is going to really bite us in the ass. I hope that dude's doing okay, but holy shit, we're going to feel that impact. And the Bengals and the Titans, I'm still not sold on the Bengals. I'm just not. I think Joe Burrow is too young to have that much success. I think they are a good football team, but I think they're going to start to die out by the end of the season. And the Titans, they're just injury riddled. Another team that just cannot stay healthy. And I think this is really going to be the year that they start to fizzle out. Unfortunately, without Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown's hurt, Julio Jones is hurt. Their all-star offense has diminished to next to nothing. They're soon going to fizzle out. Their 8-4 record, I think, is going to, round out to something around 500 by the end of the year. Yeah, those are my power rankings. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What would you change? Who would you move up? Who would you move down? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. If you want to hit the bell to be notified when I upload, I'd appreciate that. You want to go over to Twitter, follow me over there. I'd appreciate that as well. I'm a part of the built-in Buffalo content creation team. If you enjoy Buffalo Bills content, be sure to follow and subscribe to us on any social medias you might have, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.